Okay, welcome to another video of Xcode 6 tutorial. Today we will be talking about variables and variable types. So let's get started here. I've just opened up a new playground in Xcode, and as you see, the very first thing that it gives us an example variable. And this is the format of how the variables will look. So the first thing is the keyword called var, stands for variable. This is a mutable variable, which means it can be changed. The next thing after that is the name of the variable, which we'll call an str, and then we are giving this variable a value of hello playground in parentheses, which means that it is a string type. Okay, so this is just a basic example. Giving another example of a string, we'll create a new string called name, and in parentheses we will type out my name called Rob, and there you go. On the right hand side it displays the output of the expression, which is Rob, and very simple. You can explicitly declare a variable after the name. You can put colon and then call it string, just in case you need to explicitly declare something. You can do that, but it's not needed because Xcode understands that anything in parentheses, you are defining it as a string, so it understands what that is. Okay, the next thing that we're going to talk about is variables, or excuse me, integers, I mean. So an integer is basically a whole number, and the way that you define that is very similar. You just call var, and then we'll do age equals 39. And you don't need quotation marks for an integer. Okay. And there you go. On the right hand side, the expression output is 39. Simple as that. To explicitly declare it, you can just call int. But again, it's not needed in that situation. I'll get back to that in just a minute as to why you might want to do that with numbers. The next number variable type is called a float, or a floating point, which is basically a decimal. And the way that you would declare that is, we'll just call it like pi equals 3.14. Okay, it's got a decimal. It's not an integer. It's a float. So which means it's got a decimal in it. Okay, just like you would define it as an integer with no quotation marks, but Xcode understands that pi is a float here. You could again explicitly declare it after the name, but you don't necessarily have to. Okay, so those are a couple different types of variables. In case you're new to Xcode, I'm going to show you how to make comments here. Just a regular comment, you just do backslash or // and then anything after that is going to be commented out and will not be compiled. So you can call this string, and you can see over here to the right hand side the playground does not output it as anything because it's a comment. So you can make comments as to why you're adding these variables in your code. Makes it a lot easier to read and understand what exactly you're doing here, just in case someone else is going through your code, or if you go back and look at your code, you'll know why you did something. If you need to do a multi-line comment, you would do a / and then a star. Okay, and then that is the way that you open it, and the way that you close it is star /. Okay, so anything inside these comment section will be commented out. This is a multi-line comment. Okay. So what if you have a variable, but you're not sure what the value is yet? Okay. For instance, you want to call a variable a year, but you don't know what the year is that you want to use. Okay. You can just do var and then year. That is a valid variable. However, you'll probably want to declare it as a type. Okay. Do var year, and then you can do int for int, and now it knows that year is going to be an int. So you can do year equals 2014, and it understands that that is what it is. Okay. What happens if you want this to be a float, but your initial declaration is an int? For example, if you have a variable called cars, and initially you set it up to be 50, and then later on in your code you want to call cars equals 4.5. You see how it takes on the right hand side, it just takes the 4 because it thinks it's an int, and so all it's going to do is take the int value of that, and but we want it to say 4.5. The way that you could do that is you can go back to your declaration of your variable and actually specifically call it a float, and then as you see on the bottom here on the right hand side, it is now 4.5. You can also do math with variables. Obviously, we will do some really quick basic math. We will declare a variable a equals 5, and then b equals 16. Now, if we want to add those together, we can create a new variable and say c equals a plus b. And then on the right hand side, 21. It does the math for you. And you can also do multiplication, a star b, and that means a times b, and our output is 80. So you can see that that is how you can do some basic math with variables. Again, this is just a basic video showing you some variable types. It's not extensive or exhaustive, but it might get you started with some your basic information on Swift programming. So please leave a message, leave a comment below as to what you might want to see in future videos, or if you wanted to add anything to this video, please let us know. And again, thanks for watching.